It's time for the World Superbikes and the 5th round of the championship. Welcome to the Italian World Superbikes Race 1 at the Cremona circuit. It's been a battle and a half throughout the season so far. What on earth are we going to witness now? Hello everybody and welcome to the Superbikes. Alongside me in the commentary box, back again is Josh T. Hello JT, and now Cremona time. And boy oh boy, this is a challenging circuit and it has been entertaining so far. A battle, Bulaga and Toprak as we head down towards the first corner. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very, very tired after the absolute mess which was the NASCAR Truck Series last night. I was hoping to get out at 3 AM. I got out at 4:10. And to make you jealous, I woke up 24 minutes ago.
Yeah, I've been awake since 5:30 AM. So, yeah, not the greatest start either for us both, and it's a tricky weekend. But first race ahead of us, and a busy day here on JB Motorsports. Just to confirm what's coming up throughout the rest of the day, we've got World Superbikes now. Alongside, straight after, we've got the Formula E Monaco E-Prix Race 1. On JB Motorsports 2, we've got Freca from Mazzano, their opening race of the season. At 3:20, we've got F1 Academy from Miami, qualifying. JT being producer for that, but Jess and Tom in commentary. Then we've got IndyCar Barber, free practice 2. Omi is team viewing JT software for that. That'll be on the main channel. Then we've got the F1 Sprint from 4:15 British Summer Time. The NASCAR qualifying and Xfinity Series as well. Qualifying will be on the main channel. So will the Xfinity Series with Matthew Arrington in the commentary. F1 Miami Race 1 at 7:50 and qualifying at 8:45 as well. And we wrap up at 10:15 for all of the action. And then tomorrow morning, to all go again with Formula E at a slightly later time. But so far, today is going well. JT, interesting grid lined up ahead of us. Nicolo Bulaga on pole position with Sam Lowes alongside and Toprak Razgalioli starting in third. The run down towards the first corner here is going to be critical. It's such a tricky part of the track to get right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting row 1. Fully interesting grid here at Cremona, and I can see the clock. We've got 2 minutes and 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 minutes now until the formation lap.
Which means we've got about a minute before the introductions start as well here at Cremona. Hello, Plug, who's in our YouTube chat. Let's just run you through the grid quickly as well in terms of the surprises. Well, I could look at her down in 8th position, but we've already seen this weekend, if your name is Bautista, you tend to crash down there. 4 crashes yesterday and a further one earlier. He's struggling a lot for a man who won 3 races in a row here last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at Ryan Vickers now, but yeah, Bautista not being a very good weekend, has it, for Cremona, where he normally is very strong.
Here's how they stand then. Nicolo Bulaga on 136 points, Toprak Razgalioli on 115, Andrea Locatelli on 107, Avio Bautista 86, Daniel Petrucci 81, and Sam Lowes on 52. Eyes of the world are upon us then as we get set, ready for race number 1 of the weekend. Here's your starting grid then as it stands. It is Nicolo Bulaga on pole position from Sam Lowes and Toprak Razgalioli. Then it's Avio Bautista, Javier Vierge and Andrea Iannone. Remy Gardner, Ike Lucanoa and Michael van der Mark starts 9th. Scott Reddings 10th from Andrea Locatelli. And Marcello Bassini starts in 12th. Then it's Daniel Petrucci, Agata, Montella, Alex Lowes, Jonathan Ray back in the championship, qualified 17th, Garrett Gerlos 18th, Sofa Gulu 19th, Ryan Vickers 20th, Rabat 21st, Mackenzie 22nd, Rui is in 23rd, and Zahadi is in 24th place. But JT, how great is it to see that back with us as we come to our commentary camera, which isn't working just yet. Oh, that's great. We'll have to stay on the main battle cams for the time being. How great is it to see, though, JT, that all action is set up and everyone's ready to go, and Jonathan Rea back in the championship finally.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, I'll be honest, this is how busy I've been across all different series. I had no idea Jonathan Rea was back.
He has come back. He has risen. He's all set to go, and he's been looking rather feisty, I might add, as well, back in the championship. Now, we're just having a few technical gremlins with our rider tracker. We're sorting that now, so don't worry too much about it. It's just when we go to our battle screen, we need to have it operational, so it's just getting it all set up and ready to go, and then also finding the correct hashtag situation as we do that, which we have now. Hello.
JB, that the air temperature 84 Fahrenheit, 28.9 degrees Celsius. Track temperature is 113 Fahrenheit, which is 45 degrees Celsius, and the wind is 2 miles per hour.
How have you got hold of that?
I have my ways.
I was going to say, I don't have access to that up here in the commentary box, so JT's being a wizard for us as well. That run down towards the first corner is going to be a little bit more critical than we might think. Fingers crossed they keep it together and they don't lose their ways. Okay then, tension starts to rise. The first race of the day for the World Superbikes is about to gear up. It's his 6th pole position, Nicola Bulliger, in his career. He's 2nd of the season after Australia. He ran away with 3 races in a row then. He's leading the championship, but his top rank going to stop him. It's ready for 23 laps. World Superbikes Race 1 from Cremona is about to get underway, and they will rev down to turn 1. Green lights, red light. Lights out, we're racing! Brilliant start from Bulliger, but getting a great launch coming is Adrian Bautista. He's going to go round the outside. Don't know where Sam Lowe's needs to look. It's towards the first corner. Top ranks to 2nd, Bautista 3rd, Ian only in 4th. Lowe's trying to come back up the inside. Can't, switches to the outside. Can't, stuck, down. Top rank back on the back of Bulliger already as they come already down through turn 5 and 6, the 2 kicks, and top rank already on the back of Bulliger, JT, even before we complete the first sector. Stunning start.
What a start from top rank, straight off the outside of row 1, straight in towards 2nd place, and he is chasing down first. As we continue the first lap, here is the standings. It's Bulliger, top rank Bautista, Iannone, your top 4.
And out goes the 53. Tito Rabat is stopped at turn 6 with a technical problem. So Tito Rabat is already out of the race before it even really begins. Top Rack is already on the back of Bulliger. The clouds have started to come over at the back of the second. It was sunny an hour ago for the WCR race, and Top Rack's going for it down in towards turn 11. Bulliger goes defensive. Is it really time to go this early in the race? It's only lap 1. No, he's going to play with it. Be the Marc Marquez game.
Yeah, absolutely. You didn't tell me that Omi was racing in 23rd place.
Oh, and up the inside, Tito Rabat's taking the lead of the race. Out goes Tito Rabat. Top rank Rascoliolu leads into turn number 1. What do you mean, Omi?
Look at 23rd place.
Tito Rabat, yeah. Oh,
No.
oh, yeah, it's Omi's last name. I didn't think of that. Good point. Yeah, it's Omi. Didn't know he was racing, actually. A Malaysian rider. So 23 left. Andrea Locatelli. Oh, out! And that is Andrea! Andrea Locatelli has crashed out of the race! And that's in the second corner. He might be able to get going, but already drama on the second lap of the race. And we're riding now with Nicolo Bulliger. I didn't expect that one to come through.
That bike looked a little smoky. I don't know if it was just gravel dust, but there was possibly a little bit of smoke coming out of that bike. As we are on board with Top Rack looking behind to Bulliger, as Top Rack took the lead over Bulliger at the end of the last lap.
Gardner's ahead of Sam Lowe's as well, so Gardner's up to 5th. Lowe's is down into 6th. He's actually down 4 places from where he started. Up 4 is Jonathan Ray. So Jonathan is up into 13th position. Bulliger's almost on the grass. Top Rat's giving you absolutely no room on the backstretch. Down towards turn 11. Bulliger on the inside. Top Rat rear braking. He gets it stuck. Now into 12 and 13. The hairpin that falls downhill. And don't make a mistake at the exit. Little bit of a dip. It's like a carousel at the Nürburgring. 2 laps down onto lap 3.
Across the line we go, down in towards turn 1. Look at how big that gap is now between Toprak and Bulliger. It closes up as Toprak fastest lap 1:29.578, but the gap between 2nd and 3rd is nearly 2 seconds, so the front 2 have definitely pulled away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, they're going to start now. Batista will go in a lunge, but don't forget he's already crashed so many times this weekend, damaging his bike. There's gravel on the track at exit at turn 6. There's then pollen in the air as well. It's like, it almost looks like someone's been having a cushion pillow fight as well. The amount of little bits of cotton are being flown up in the air as well, feathers as well. Top right now, lifts off in the middle sector. Nicolo Bulliger closes back in, and he's almost running into the back of him. We're on the back of the BMW now, and Nicolo Bulliger was almost getting an up-close inspection of that BMW M1000RR.
Yeah, what we're also missing because of this battle of the lead is if you have a look at the 12th, 13th and 14th, well, it's just like old Superbikes. You've got Scott Reddin as down the inside. That is Bulliger.
He's gone too deep. Top Rat might be able to get him back at the last corner into the hairpin. Let's have a look again. Look at that! Sends it out the inside! What a brilliant camera angle from the drone to see Top Rat just send it on Bulliger. The one back ahead of the 11 with 20 to go. And it is like old Superbikes, isn't it, from British BSB. Scott Redding, Alex Lowe's and Jonathan Ray are 12, 13, 14.
And they are battling it out because Alex Lowe's has just taken 13th away from Jonathan Ray.
Old school, isn't it, as the British Superbikes gets underway on Monday with race 1, if I'm not very much mistaken. Or is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow, race 1.
So, over we go. Bulliger cuts back to the inside. Top Rack shuts the door as they come down in towards turn number 6 and 7 and 8 coming back up. Batista's dropped 1.6 seconds behind this leading battle now, but Top Rack absolutely giving us the action. We were speaking to Michael Hill in the sprint race last week in MotoGP at Donington Park. When he joined us in the commentary box, he said how much Top Rack and Nicolo Bulliger are enjoying this title fight, and you can see how much they're enjoying racing each other. Top Rack, though, after Australia, JT, still got his bit between his teeth. He wants to fight back hard. Here's a replay of that move.
Yeah, he does want to fight back hard. I can tell you that Locatelli has returned, but he's a full sector behind everyone else. What a switchback over the hill. And this is Bulliger up the inside once again. It's going to happen again.
Top Rack swings back on the inside and retakes the lead. That looked like it was a bit half. It was half. Well, you know what? I can't say that one. Half attempted manoeuvre from Nicolo Bulliger. They didn't even go for the defence back.
I mean, he went so wide into the corner before, which he just gave up the opportunity once again. But Top Rack once again, 1:29.353, fastest lap.
Gabriel Ruri has crashed at turn 13. That's the last corner on the circuit. So the Italian ride on home soil is out of the race. Let's hope he's all right. I don't know how bad that last corner is. Remember, Lizzie, our colleague here, crashed at this circuit last year. And okay, he is okay. That's good news as well. Yeah, Lizzie doesn't like this place, and I don't blame her one bit. There's Kevin Schwantz, MotoGP legend, watching on this weekend. Top Rack for Bulliger, Batista, Iannone, Gardner, your top 5, but there's 2 seconds between them all as things stand. Lap 5 of 23, 4 have been completed. Top Rack leading as they come down the straight again towards turn 11. Bulliger's on the outside this time. That's going to really push Top Rack to defend the inside. Bulliger's not going to hold on though. He's going to get the odd switch back because it's forced Top Rack to go defensive. He can't get through on the inside. It's turn 13. Top Rack is expert at defending that BMW.
Yeah, but that was very close to them both going down, because the rear wheel of Toprak, well, Bulliger's front wheel was millimetres away from it on that manoeuvre as we start another lap, and we're in towards turn 1 as we look further back into the top 10 battle.
Yeah, Sam is dropping massively. That was Van der Mark who's just got ahead of him, and now we've got, well, actually now Lowe's has repassed him, so Petrucci's in that battle as well. Iannone is 4th, Gardner 5th, and there's Lowe's now under pressure from that second BMW of Michael Van der Mark in 9th position. Petrux, though, trying to close on the inside. Van der Mark's going for a move on Lowe's, on the inside at turn 7, and he's got him. Nicely done.
This battle, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th is on the screen. 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. Well, it's down 4th to around 15th, this battle.
Closer and closer once more as this action will maintain the distance as we're trying to just get the race screen sorted for you at the moment. What a battle you are witnessing here in race 1 of the championship.
He's going again.
He's going for it on the inside this time. That's too late, JT. Way
Up
too
the
late.
inside, and he keeps it, but will Toprak be able to go around the outside? Bulliger takes the lead. Toprak on the cutback, going down the front stretch. Here we go. In the slipstream, Bulliger leads a lap here in Cremona.
Well, that's going to be vital by the time this race comes around later on. We know that leading a lap here, if he can get that right at the last corner, it will be sensational to get right. And he is going absolutely crazy right now as this racing goes on. Lap 7, and Toprak is furious now. He wants vengeance.
Bulliger was 0.341 of a second quicker than Toprak on that lap, and I'm going to say it, that was a rehearsal for the last lap if needed from Bulliger.
Yeah, he's very much keeping it in tow, isn't he? He knows exactly what he sort of has to do and what he can and can't do, I think is the correct thing to say, as we get our proper timings back alongside with our new monitor system for 2 commentators at one time with the rider tracker below. That we didn't have in Australia, of course. It was made for Australia, but never got used because there was no rider tracker there. So, hey-ho. Bulliger from Toprak, gap 0.127, and then they've pulled out 2.5 seconds now to Avio Bautista. We're riding with the BMW, and I think Bulliger's now chosen the moment to go, and Toprak's going to have to save his tyres here.
Yeah, look at the difference of the times at the bottom of the screen. It's gone from 4 tenths at the start of the lap to now a 5 tenths half a second lead. As this is, I believe we just had a quick look at the Iannone-Remy Gardner battle for 4th and 5th at the start of that train. But who's this catching up? That is Bautista in 3rd. It's still a 2.6 second gap, but those two battling out front of Bulliger and Toprak, they've slowed each other down and allowing Bautista to catch up. Here's the battle for 4th.
JT, steady yourself. Tarrant McKenzie has retired from the race in the 95. Yeah. So out goes the Honda CBR 1000 RR-R. There's a lot of R's in that one. And I think
Bulliger has just set a fastest lap by 2 tenths to the previous one. It's a It's a 129.199, and the previous fastest lap was a 129.3.
He's taken off now, hasn't he? He's just foot to the floor, gone. It's down to everybody else now to sort of go, all right, catch me up then. See what you can do. Like I care. Sort of mentality.
Okay, well, old Superbikes has returned once again because Sam Lowe's has joined the battle. So it's Scott Reddin, Alex Lowe's, Sam Lowe's, and Jonathan Ray. Here's the battle for 4th.
Iannone in a battle with Remy Gardner, and Iannone's back up to 4th. Gardner's down to 5th. Javier Vieje is closing him in as well as they come over the line. 15 laps to go here for the Superbikes in race 1 at Cremona. And don't forget, for race 2 tomorrow, it'll be the World Feed taking you through the action with JT on calls as we cover a different championship event. and then I'll be back for race 2. So I missed the Super Bowl race. Agata's up to 14th. Topback's closing in on Bulliger. The gap now a little bit closer. Here it is. In front of our pictures. Topback's using up more of his rear tyres, JT. Bulliger just looks like he's pitch perfect now. He's holding everything down nicely. He's controlling the strategy well. He's now knows that he just needs to save some tyres.
Yeah, well, the last lap for Topback is a 1:29.2. The last lap for Bulliger was a 1:29.295. So 95 thousandths Topback was faster by. As we head down the backstretch, once again down towards turn 11. This is where moves will happen if they do happen, but I do believe Topback is a little bit far back for an attempt this time by.
Sadly so. He's not going to throw it all the way now, but interesting enough, they've both just set their best lap times of the race. They come across the line. Bulliger 1:29.109, Topback 1:29.024, so he's visibly closing now on our positions in towards turns 1 and 2. Camera picks him up, exited that second corner into turn 3, and then back into, after going into the left, right at turn 4 for the first time, right at 5 into the kink at 6, and then down the backstretch towards turn 7. Topback with the fastest lap of the race so far. There are a lot of gaps now starting to fall out. 14 to go. Bulliger, Razgaliolu is in a battle, and Bartista, the man who won all 3 here last year, now running in 3rd position.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, I think at this rate we're going to get a race lap sub 1:29 because we've been going down on that. Our first fastest lap was something around like a 1:29.4. We're now at a 1:29.0 as this race progresses on. As we look behind the battle for 4th, and that up the inside.
Lucanoa and Vierge battling, the 2 teammates, and that's going to be Lucanoa getting out ahead. But they almost ran into each other and brought each other down.
Very close, and we're side by side down into the battle place of turn 11.
And Vierge back on the inside, but holding on the outside. Oh, they touched! The 2 teammates touching! Lucanoa forcing Vierge wide, middle of turn 13, and now Van der Mark is right there. So is Petrux. That was close to the 2 Honda. They've got to calm them down. They've got to calm the 2 Honda guys down. That was too far.
Yeah, Van der Mark couldn't capitalise on that. The 2 Hondas still together. There's 7 and 97 with 13 laps to go. And this is just behind Petrucci with Van der Mark in there as well if those 2 Hondas were to make a mistake.
Yeah, Pollard now getting kicked out. Petrux coming in 9th position. Don't forget points going down to 15. So it's actually Yardi Montella in 15th position who has that sort of cusp as things currently stand as well.
What's happened to Jonathan Ray? He's dropped from 14th down to 16th.
He's dropped 2 places behind Agata and Montella. So what's happened to Ray? It could be just coming back issues.
Yeah.
It's the first time we really strung race laps together. He was trying a lot in practice, but this is the first time in a proper situation with managing tyres and other riders around you. Don't blame him a bit for being a bit off the charge, but nice to have Jonathan Ray back in the championship, as here we come again. That's Remy Gardner coming under pressure from Ike Lucanoa on the inside line, down at turn 12 into 13, and he's got him.
I think that's a problem for Jonathan Ray. He's just dropped from 16th to 19th again.
He's 1.5 seconds back. Where is he on our timing tower?
In a couple of laps, he's dropped from 14th to 19th.
The 65 is on the gravel, but has rejoined at turn 12. There you go, JT, you're right. Jonathan Ray's gone onto the gravel, but has rejoined this race. And that's at turn 12. So he's... Well, how did he do that? That means he must have outbraked himself at 11 and cut turn 12 and rejoined at 13.
Possibly, yeah. But that's why Jonathan Ray has gone down and down. But it's once again Bautista. He was 2.5 seconds behind. It's now gone to a 5-second gap, so it is once again Bulliger and Toprak out in front alone, but Bulliger has been able to gain a 1.139 second lead over Toprak in second.
Half distance then of race 1 of the Italian World Superbikes at Cremona. Here's Sam Lowe's down 11 places from where he started. He'll get another attempt later, but yeah, that's not exactly the greatest result for him, as the Elfmark VDS boys watch on. So down they come then into the braking zone. It's Van der Mark in 8th position. Toprak losing more time. We're getting now 1.349. Whoa, late on the brakes there for Javier Vieje, who nearly ran into the back of Romy Gardner as they come over the line. There we see, well, that's Andrea Iannone under attack from Heikki Lukanoa now. So Iannone twitching on that bike. He received a 3-place grid penalty, did Iannone, after impeding in qualifying. So he was dropped 3 from his original qualifying position.
Yeah, and he's been able to keep that. Iannone, he's still up in 4th. So it's not affected him that much. He's still in the top 5, even with that grid penalty he was given. But battle for 4th, he may not have that 4th for much longer with how the Hondas have been acting up the past couple of laps.
Yeah, Hondas have been a bit, I want to say temperamental throughout this one so far.
They've been pushing their luck with teammates, possibly having battles they shouldn't have with teammates, I think.
Yeah, that is, I think, bang on what they've been up to right now. Gap now, let's see, 1.5.
Once again, Jonathan Ray on the gravel, rejoined turn 2 this time.
Yeah, he's out braking him. Oh, to be fair, that doesn't mean he's just got a bit too deep into the brakes there. Maybe he's having some arm pump issues or something on that brake, just pulling the throttle down for the brake. Oh, on the inside, Iannone doesn't know that Lukanoa was there. That was a big surprise coming into turn 13. Lukanoa sends it up the inside and gets ahead. And Iannone not going to hold back. Back on the inside line at turn 1, gets ahead. Lukanoa cuts back on the inside of turn 2. Fabulous racing over 4th position here. And Lukanoa's going to hold out and gets ahead of Iannone. Beautiful racing. Spectacular from Heikki Lukanoa.
Good battle there, even with the rejoin of the gravel for Jonathan Ray. He stays in 19th because of how far Locatelli is behind him due to his incidents that Locatelli had earlier on in the race. We're in towards the final 10 laps of this first race for the World Superbikes here at Cremona. I agree with what Serge is saying. Oh no, Toprak is lagging a bit. You can see on the rider tracker down into turn 11. There goes Bulliger and Toprak just there capitalising. So there are a little bit lag. The gap 1.544 now as we start 10 laps to go here in race 1. And it's been around 2 tenths of a second per lap that gap is increasing from Bulliger and Toprak. Here's the train of bikes for this battle. And it's 4th onwards down, as it still is, down in towards turn 11. And the main part of this battle, the 2 closest riders, is Van der Mark and Petrucci. Yeah, so Van der Mark on the second of the BMW bikes as well. That he's trying to master the same as what Toprak's done this season. Iannone's dropped off the back of Lukanoa. The gap already 6 tenths for him, not bad. As what's happened as they come through turn 2, 3. Iannone's still closing through. Out of the race! Heikki Lukanoa! Lukanoa's crashed out of turn 3! Iannone goes through to 4th, and Lukanoa has thrown away a fantastic charge onto 4th. Now he's gone down. Oh, the front tipped away from him on entry. Took too much speed in. Oh, Heikki! Oh. Such a simple mistake though, JT, and that's put Iannone back up to 3rd. Now 4th, sorry, as they come through. Oh, he's kept the bike going, Lukanoa. Would he get out ahead of Ray? No. He has got the bike going, but what I was concerned about is that it wasn't a static lack of adhesion flag, it was a waved lack of adhesion flag. And as we know, a waved lack of adhesion flag in Superbikes, it's not water, it's not debris, it's oil.
2/3 has been completed, so if we need to red flag the race, they will not be restarted, so Bulliger will take it with full points allocated, so 2/3 distance complete. So now they all know they have to go, because if we get a red flag, it's really critical. More critical in Superbike racing, where the 2/3 distance comes with 8 to go, whereas in WCI it came with 3 to go. No sign of them needing for the red flag, though.
Keep an eye on it, but that was definitely a wave
wave.
classification flag with a wave double yellow.
So that would indicate oil on the circuit as well. So no sign of the reds at the moment. We've already had a red flag this year, if I'm not very much mistaken, in one of the races. I think it was at Assen. I don't remember back now when we actually did have a red flag stoppage. Where were we in race 2? Yeah, I think it was there. Can't quite remember actually, but we did have a red flag come out beforehand. Yeah. Earlier on in the season. Look at the gap.
The visual gap of Bulliger and Toprak, and it's up to 2 seconds now. Whatever Bulliger is doing is making him able to just every single lap pull away, pull away, pull away. If you're watching the TV pictures along with us, you can see it's race pace, and you can see how it's just decreased from a 129.829 on lap 2 all the way down to on lap 3 a 129.488, and then a 129.241 on lap 5. His fastest lap 11, a 129.081, but even he's not pushing. It's a 129.4 and a 129.6.
Last lap time for Bulliger. Yeah, 129.3. So he's picked up the pace. Compare that, as you say, to Toprak JT, who is struggling.
Yeah, but a 129.596 for Toprak the last time by. Somehow, and I don't know how, Bulliger is setting the same lap times, but pulling away. So whatever Toprak is doing, it's not working.
Ike Lugano has retired from the race after that crash, but you're right, the gap now 2 seconds between Bulliger and Toprak Razgalioli.
2 seconds exactly.
So this is going to be Lugano's 5th win of the season, if he continues on the way he's going. What an insane charge! He won't even just lead the championship; he'll have a commanding hold of the championship. But there's still Super Pole and race 2 tomorrow. There's a lot to hold on as, well, that was Bautista, because here is Iannone, Gardner, Vierge, Van der Mark, Petrucci. Does it go all the way down to Sam Lowes in 12th with Dominic Aggett just at the back in 13th?
Yes, it does. I believe that is where that cut-off is. But Nicola Bulliger crosses the line once more, en route to his 5th victory of the year.
What I love is that Kevin Schwann said that, I came to watch World Superbikes as MotoGP has been a bit boring this year. Has he been watching Superbikes? Part of the fantastic action we had at Assen, it's been a Bulliger domination.
Yeah, Scott Reddin has just got up into the top 10, and please, Scott, don't do what you normally do and crash out when you're in a good place.
It is Scott Redding. We're, 10th position is a wonder for that team at the moment. He is on a Ducati though. We saw what he did in Australia, and it was a Ducati top. What was it? Like 8 Ducatis inside the top 10. It was insane how many we had at Phillip Island. The only race outside of Europe. We'll get to that win later, because I think this is World Superbikes, and we visit Portugal twice, Spain twice, Italy twice. It's not really a full-on championship anymore, is it? At least
This is the European Superbikes with Australia thrown in the middle of it. Remy Gardner just went wide, trying to get past Iannone. That's dropped him back a little bit, and that has allowed Vierge to get on the back of Remy Gardner. So this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th is heating up, and if that's all to go wrong, look who's right behind him and join that train It's Vandermark who's ready to pick up the pieces if needed. 5 laps to go here at Corona.
There's a few little just glitches we're noticing out there on the circuit now. The rear tyres are starting to give up. Here is the 65 of Jonathan Ray, who is now down in 18th position on the Pata Maxus Yamaha. Gone through the gravel a couple of times, but he's still out there and he just wants to complete race distances.
Yeah, absolutely, and you could see that he was unstable going in towards turn 1 and turn 2, where he was in the gravel one time earlier on. His other place that he was in the gravel earlier on was turn 12, but here is the battle. They're getting closer. Gardner looked to go up the inside of Iannone, but they were too far around the corner. Keep an eye on turn 11 for this group of 4 as we head towards that part of the circuit now.
Yeah, I can't see where the 11 and 1 is at the moment. There they go, just past turn 1 to now, Bautista in it. We're into that turn 11 section coming into it. Now this would be critical. Maybe Vieja going to run. He's gone the slipstream of Gardner. Inside line wouldn't be too bad of a shout. He's thinking about it.
Looking at it.
He's too late on the brakes. That's a shame.
But definitely in the next couple of laps, I can see this battle lighting up. But look how close they are as they go into the final corner. That was
just a closing effect as well. They're bringing 2 magnets together. It almost snapped. But underneath them, Iannone 4th, Gardner 5th, Vieja 6th. It was almost like watching a slinky. You pull it apart and you let it go and it comes back together again. That's a better definition than magnets, at least. 4 to go. Bulga now leads by 3 seconds to top that Razgaliolu. And then we get Bautista 3rd. He's 10 seconds behind Bulga, 7 seconds behind Toprak. As we're watching the Italian leading on home soil to try and claim his 5th win of the Superbike season. World Championship's all his. Replay time. Riding style comparison.
This, I believe, is at turn 11 and turn 12.
Yeah, and into 13. Super slow-mo camera. He's not phased, is he, this guy?
No.
Super, super special. 4 to go. We'll be handing over to JT for the podium ceremony. As well. Once again.
If it works.
I should do. We'll go to the battle screen. And then those of you on JB Motorsports Twitch will join for the Formula E Race 1 build-up. And then if you want to join us after that Formula E, you can do. It's going to be a pit stop race as well. It's going to be a very entertaining race. Bulliga, 3.265 now. This is Iannone. There's Gardner. And Luca Noah. Sorry, this is Javier Vieja. And he's got ahead of Gardner. Just as you said, JT, into turn 11. Nice move on the inside.
Absolutely. As we continue to circulate, and the live audio is working, so we should be able.
Oh, excellent.
And should be good to go, as this is the battle between Iannone and Vierge, and I'm going to turn that fader down so I don't hear the live audio until I need to.
At least we know it works. That's going to be good. We'll hand over during the TNT ad break, and I'll run off and cover the Formula E, and then straight after that we're in for NASCAR and their qualifying session. Are you actually going to Ringwood today then, JT?
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously after their F1 Academy qualifying, you're just leaving it all set up for Omi?
Yes, if I remember, yes.
I hope you remember. Otherwise, we're in a bit of issue with FP2 because he's covering another event, if I'm not mistaken, during that time. Italian F4, something like that. A lot of action in Italy. They're at Mazzano this weekend. Freca and Italian F4. You can watch that on JB Motorsports 2 as we're now starting to branch out series to other channels as well. So not everything will be on JB Motorsports. Support series on JB2, which I'm very happy about. GB3, Italian F4, Freca, all going over there. Really get some other build-ups sorted as well. Oh, we get the main events. I'll put WCR on there actually as well. Bulliger on top from Razgatlioglu, Bautista, Iannone, Vierge, Gardner, Van der Mark, Petrucci, Bassini, Redding in 10th still. Then it's the two Lowe's brothers. As there is Davide Tardozzi, the team manager of the main MotoGP team here this weekend, watching on, supporting. The Ducatis on their home soil. 3.2 seconds. Bulliger's got this one. It's going to be a bit of a worry to see if he can take this away tomorrow in race 2, JT. I think he's got a very good shot here at beating Toprak, who has no answer at this place.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a circuit that Bulliger likes, and this is a circuit that Toprak doesn't like, as we are looking at Bautista. And I don't know why we're looking at Bautista. Do they think that it's Bulliger because Bautista is 8.1 is clear the other side?
Bit bizarre, that one, I will admit, as to why we were looking at AVO. But I'm looking at the number 11 on our timing screen. Yeah, there's just, the timing screen's glitching every now and then, actually. It's not, I think there's an issue at the circuit. They just lose power here last year. And caused a problem in the WCR race and the race 1 of the Superbikes. Still, it was worse at Qatar all those years ago. Yeah, why don't World Superbikes go to Qatar anymore?
It's not just Spain and Portugal who lose power.
Yep, Italy had it too last year. But this is into the last few corners. Nicolo Bulliger will exit and take his 5th win of the year. And on home soil, he will be the man to beat as Iannone, Vierge and Gardner do battle over 4th. Arguably not that important. Here's the man who is, though. On home soil, it's high five. Nicolo Bulliger wins the first race of the Italian World Superbikes at Cremona. Tino Rabat in Tommaso Razgatlioglu in 2nd. 3rd for Fabio Bautista. Iannone should come home in 4th. Vierge 5th. Gardner 6th as they come across the line in that order. Out of the race, I'm doing that again. Tino Rabat. How did I confuse those two? I knew where I was going with it as well. Tino Rabat, Gabriel Rui, Tam McKenzie and Ike Lugano are out. Final point to Garrett Gerloff. Nicolo Bulliger, though, wins race 1, JT. What a race.
Yeah, absolutely. What a race. It did turn out into a bit of procession with multiple riders, multiple seconds away from each other. But what a race it was when we did have the battles. And a shorter race tomorrow with the Super Pole race, and then the longer back to the 23 laps distance later on tomorrow with the 23 laps. Bulliger and Van der Mark together. Van der Mark congratulating Nicolo Bulliger as he goes round on his cool-down lap, waving to the crowd and the marshals.
It's his 11th win and his 5th of the season. Right, let's head over to JT then for the podium ceremony.
But it's also the reason that he's able to immediately hit straight back here, because he was still the fastest man in Assen last time out.
Yeah, and for Assen, we were able to see, obviously, that he had that speed, he had the pace, and now we've been able to see that he can bounce back from it as well. And for Ducati, I think it's really important that they were able to make sure that they didn't suffer any issues here this weekend, and they've been able to do that up to this point for Bulliger. And I think that those extra 5 points that he's been able to pick up there on Toprak, they're all important.
Yes, 5 points. It's still not the biggest margin, of course. That was leaving Phillip Island, and Toprak has managed to bring that gap back down over the course of the campaign. In fact, the gap is still not what it was going into Assen, let alone leaving last time out. Razgatlioglu losing the 5 points in race number 1, but important damage limitation ride, and that was the one thing that Toprak couldn't do in Assen last time out.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that for Razgatlioglu, he didn't have the bike underneath him in Assen. This is actually going to give him a lot of confidence going into tomorrow, because the question's always about how much faster can Ducati and Bulliger go. For Toprak and BMW, they've now got information and data to try and find it a step for tomorrow.
And 3rd place for Alvaro Bautista, I said it previously, but familiar story. Enough pace for the podium, enough pace to be comfortable comfortably clear of the kind of best of the rest, but not enough pace to go with Bulliger at the head of the field.
Yeah, and then for Alvaro, it's about trying to make sure you're able to have those podiums at the start of the weekend, because we know Saturday to Sunday he always makes a step.
Yes, and second half of races he tends to come back, but often that step is because of making progress in the Superpole race, and there's not that much progress now for Bautista to make in the Superpole race. He qualified quite well in 4th position. He made up 1 place to 3rd, and that was about it.
There might not be a lot of progress to make, but there's 11.5 seconds of progress to find.
Yeah.
And that'll be the big thing for him, because at the end of the day, Toprak, whenever Bulliger opened up that margin to over a second, he knew that he wasn't going to catch him, but he also knew that he wasn't going to get caught, and that's the key thing for Alvaro.
Yes, just to bring himself back into the mix. So difficult to work out where he can find it, though, because he was with Bulliger in pace terms last season. Bulliger, the last 2 rounds of last season, makes a big step forward, and suddenly he's the dominant force.
Bulliger's the better Superbike rider right now, and that's what happens as careers progress as well, because Ducati have brought him on board after winning his Supersport Championship, and they know that he is the future for them, and he's been able to learn and look at how Bautista rides and approaches things, and then try and make that next step. And I think for Alvaro, obviously in a position to be able to come away with a podium, he'll be happy with that, but as a double world champion in the class, he obviously knows that he needs to always aim for that a little bit more.
Yeah, is there anything Bautista can learn from Bulliger at this stage now to try and bridge that gap?
The old story of old dogs and new tricks, and for Alvaro, we know that he's pushing as hard as he can. He had 3 crashes yesterday, but it's about trying to just have that feeling that he needs, and we know from the past that Alvaro, whenever he's at the front, is so good, but it's about trying to make sure that when he's chasing it, that he doesn't chase it too hard.
So Nicolo Bulliger, your winner ahead of Toprak Razgatlioglu and Alvaro Bautista. Bulliger coming in, having, as I said at the top of the programme, led every race this season so far at one stage or another. Leads basically throughout that one. Good scrap in the first quarter with Toprak Razgatlioglu, but Bulliger knew too much, and you felt that Toprak was just hanging on in there to make life as difficult as possible for as long as possible for Nicolo Bulliger, but that one did have an air of inevitability about it.
Yeah, that one was one of those that once Bulliger opened up that half second, it was just going to be so difficult to claw back that time, and you can see what it means for Nico to win this one after last week as well, and down there with everyone from Ducati, Michele Pirro, and all of his team as well. And for his team and for Tommaso as crew chief, it was probably really important to come away with this race victory, because they needed to put the ghosts of Assen behind them.
Look at the results then. Race 1 at the 2025 Acerbis Italian round. Nicolo Bulliger victorious by 2.8 seconds. Startling margin between Bulliger and 2-time world champion teammate Alvaro Bautista. 3rd place in race 1, 11.5 seconds back from your race winner. Andrea Iannone, another 11.5 seconds back to P4, and his stout defence of that position, ultimately fending off Sam Lowes early on, then fending off Remy Gardner, and defending successfully against Xavi Vierke on the last couple of laps as well. Vierke matches his season's best result in P5, ahead of Remy Gardner and Danilo Petrucci. Not quite such a successful return to Cremona this time around. Vandermark, Bassani and Redding rounding out your top 10. What does that do in terms of the championship? Well, Toprak Razgatlioglu loses 5 points to Nicolo Bulliger. Damaging race for Andrea Locatelli. A spill early on for him. He remounts to 18th position but fails to score. That means Alvaro Bautista is now just 5 points away from him. Bautista completing the podium. So in the battle for bronze, 5 points between Locatelli and Bautista. Petrucci now on to 90, so also only 17 points away from Locatelli. Then a bit of a gap to best of the rest. Andrea Iannone moving back ahead of Sam Lowes. Difficult race for Sam there in 12th position, and understandably so, given what we heard before the start of the race about his sickness.
Yeah, really tough day for Sam in these hot temperatures, but able to come away with some points, and that's pretty important as well for him, just to make sure that even on your tough days like this, you're still able to clock on those points, because it's a very different season for him this year. He's trying to fight to make sure he's able to hold on to those top 6 points positions for the season, so decent job just to dig in for that. But obviously the Superpole session showed what his raw pace is like for this week.
Andrea Iannone in Parc Fermé as your top independent. It's P4 for Iannone, his best result since Australia. All the way back in February, he had a 7th place, best finish in Portimao, best of 9th in Assen. That's much more like it from Iannone, even if the raw speed and pace wasn't really there.
Yeah, but it's about trying to have those bad days, still come away with something. And he was able to get the most he could out of this one, because to be able to go and beat Buluga, Toprak or Bautista would have been really difficult. Obviously enough, Iker Lecuona came past him, but Lecuona crashed, and for Ian One was able to make sure you've got that top 5 finish, and good effort by him.
3 consecutive podiums then for Alvaro Bautista. It's 3rd place for him here today. By my reckoning, he matches Tom Sykes in the all-time podium rankings with number 114. As I say, third position here today. Still a best finish of 2nd in 2025. We'll find out over the remainder of the weekend whether he can begin to bridge that gap. He certainly closes the gap to 3rd in the World Championship. That margin now stands at just 5 points to Andrea Locatelli. 3rd consecutive podium then for Alvaro Bautista.
Alvaro, another great podium here for you today at Cremona. It must feel a lot better than yesterday. Just tell us how the race went from your perspective.
Yeah, for sure. Today has been much better, no, than yesterday. But yeah, maybe we missed the yesterday work, because today I struggled a little bit in the first few laps to push hard. Yeah, at the end I lose the slipstream from these 2 guys, and it was difficult to catch them. No? So I tried to survive, because it's a couple of races that on Saturday didn't finish, so today was important to finish and try to keep building the good confidence, especially after yesterday day. No? So I'm happy, and now we have some data to analyze for tomorrow. Grazie a tutti per tutto supporto. Grazie.
Thank you very much, Alvaro.
Bautista makes a fair point about the recovery after yesterday's problems. 3 crashes in 2 sessions of free practice. We knew he had the actual pace. He was able to prove that when he did get a lap in. But here today, comfortably better than the group behind. The problem for him is that he's also a fair margin slower than the leaders. And 11.5 seconds is not accounted for by the slipstream alone. I'm afraid there's a lot of work for Alvaro Bautista to do.
Yeah, the slipstream, it counts for something, but not half a second a lap there for Alvaro, and he needs to find something. But he's in the mix, which is the important thing. He's able to have that podium, and he rode well in this race. He didn't make any mistakes. He opened up a margin to everyone behind him. He was in a position at one stage when Toprak dropped back from Buluga. The gap was 5 seconds between himself and Bautista. Toprak was able to dig in and still set competitive and consistent pace. And Bautista, we'll see what happens tomorrow, but at least in the Superpole race, he starts from that 2nd row of the grid.
Another front row start for Alvaro Bautista on the offing, if he can make a climb in the Superpole race, similar to what he's done in race 1 here. Of course, started from 4th position and will do in the Superpole race tomorrow morning as well. It's 2nd place for Toprak Razgatlioglu. By my reckoning, it's also his 50th fastest lap in World SBK.
Toprak, you gave us such an amazing piece of entertainment with the battle with Nicolo. Can you just explain that and also picking up 20 important points?
Yeah, we are start very strong in the beginning of the race, and I'm also try to pass immediately to Burega, because I know he's fast. He have a very good pace, and I'm just trying to fighting with him. But I did a mistake, because the last corner he is used inside the line. I'm try the different way, but the bike just spinning, not acceleration. And after he is gone. But the pace is not bad, a very strong pace. Normally I'm not accept this, but looks like we are improved the bike. We have 2 more races tomorrow. Also the thanks to team, everyone working really hard every session. We have 2 more races tomorrow. I hope we are fighting for the win, because still I'm not happy. I need the win here, because the last year I'm not riding here. But every race, I'm trying to my best. We will see tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toprak.
2nd place for Toprak Razgatlioglu, bearing in mind that he only had 1 podium in Assen last time out, and that was in changeable weather conditions, or track conditions at very least. Important to get a dry weather podium, and one where his pace doesn't fall away so dramatically at the end of the race.
And you can see here for Toprak just how almost impossible it is to defend from Razgatlioglu, as he just sends a missile down the inside each time. And Buluga did a really good job to keep a cool head during that. You can see Chris Contour and the rest of the crew just looking on, and a little bit of a whoo, what's Toprak going to do next? And for them, I think they'll be pretty happy with that 20 points. They'll try and make that step forward for tomorrow, and certainly in the Superpole race, Toprak's going to be there to try and win that one.
Yeah, fastest lap of the race on lap 9. He was there or thereabouts with Buluga, certainly for the first 7 or so laps. So over a 10-lap race, you feel that Toprak might just be able to squeeze out enough to go go with Nicolo Bulliga. But a super ride from Bulliga here today. He breaks the deadlock in race wins between himself and title rival Toprak Razgatlioglu in 2025. It's his 5th win of this season.
Nicolo, your 5th win of the season. It was such a brilliant battle out there with Toprak. Just explain the race to us and obviously how you felt when you're battling with Toprak.
Yeah, my first win at home in Italy is very special. Thanks to all my team. Congratulations to Toprak because the first laps was very aggressive and I enjoyed the race. So thanks to everybody here. I love you fans and I'm really happy to win here in front of all of you.
Grazie Nicolo, all the best.
Grazie a tutti.
That seemed like quite a happy Nicolo Bulliga there, didn't it? Cracks a little bit of a smile as well for the fans. It is his local round, born just an hour down the road. And he gave the home fans something to cheer about there because he could have just waited until Toprak's pace went off and then picked him off quite easily, but he didn't. He went toe-to-toe with Toprak and ultimately came out on top.
Yeah, and the big thing is to make sure that your rival knows that you're not afraid of them. And motorbike racing mightn't be a contact sport, but it's jail yard tactics at every time. And for Bulliga, he's making sure that Toprak knows he's going to attack. And obviously Razgatlioglu made sure that Bulliga knows you're not going to have it easy.
Well, it's not a contact sport, is it? So Nicolo Bulliga and Toprak Razgatlioglu both giving themselves a bit of entertainment and a bit of hard work as well, but ultimately it's Nicolo Bulliga who comes out on top. Win number 11 for him in World SBK, and when you think back to last season, he's already done a big step forward. He was 2nd and 3rd in his 2 best performances in Cremona, and that was without going up against Toprak Razgatlioglu. He was beaten by Alvaro Bautista in race 2 here back in September. What a difference a few months makes.
Yeah, and it's another one of those steps where you're able to see just the improvements that Bulliga made, because if you think back to last summer when Toprak's had his injury, the pressure was on Bulliga to show that he can win all these races. There was almost that option where maybe Bautista was the Ducati rider that you'd kind of expect to do more of the winning, and it ended up where Bulliga really took on that mantle. But here in Cremona, I think the pressure got to him last year, and it was a track that didn't suit his natural style. He had to adapt to it, and he's been able to show over the course of the last 6, 7, 8 months just how much progress he's made from the end of last season into this season. Those last couple of rounds last year made a big difference for him.
Pirelli Best Lap Award, counting the fastest laps of the feature-length races, and Toprak Razgatlioglu now joint top. It's 3 apiece between those two. And Toprak, as I said earlier on, by my reckoning, makes it to 50 fastest laps. That includes the fastest laps in the Super Pole race as well. We do have a lot of races during a season, don't we, in World SBK with 3 per round. Good attendance here in Cremona, and our commentary position at the bottom of the stairs is Toprak Razgatlioglu's waiting and changing area, and that's where all the fans have been backing out. Times it's difficult to swim through the sea of them to get up into our comms box. Everyone comes to see Toprak Razgatlioglu, popular man here, and almost as popular perhaps as Nicolo Bulliga.
I think Toprak goes everywhere, and it's a home round for him. And you've got a lot of Turkish flags. It's his favourite round. You've got a lot of Turkish flags here, a lot of Turkish fans, and more than anything else, anyone that's a neutral is a Toprak fan, and he feeds off that energy and he plays up to the crowd all the time. But Bulliga, obviously, as a Italian rider, a Ducati rider, the home crowd advantage does spur you on quite a bit, and I think that was what was quite interesting to see him smiling down in Park Ferme after that win and thanking the fans.
And after the first third of that race that Toprak put in, how could you not be a Toprak fan? That was great to watch.
Well, the one thing about Toprak is, and we obviously see it in this paddock all the time, everyone knows how special Toprak is, and everyone wants to see Toprak race, but almost everyone in the paddock also wants to see him get that MotoGP chance. He's said it all along that that's all that he's interested in for next year. If there's an offer on the table, he'll go to MotoGP. BMW have a really tough time because they're trying to figure out what to do if Toprak leaves. And one of the riders that they are chasing is Nicolo Bulliga, and his manager's had meetings with BMW. Some of that's going to be to put a bit of pressure on Ducati as well to up their money offer for next year. But Bulliga is able to show in this race just how good he is, and he's the rider that can take the fight to Toprak.
Speaking for myself, yeah, okay, we want to see what Toprak can do in MotoGP, but I'd really like to see him here and riding maybe a different bike and cementing his legacy in the World Championship as well. How remarkable it would be to see him on a Honda, for example, next season in World SVK.
And it is a possibility, but the selfishness in all of us wants to see Toprak here. But for Toprak, it's been really interesting to see that he has moved his goals. They have shifted to say that getting to MotoGP and going there is the key, because he knows that if he goes to GP and it doesn't work out great for him, he comes back here and he still has the choice of any ride. So for Toprak, he knows that he's going to have maybe one chance to go to MotoGP, and he'll want to grab that with both hands.
And 28 might be older in MotoGP terms, but it's younger in Superbike terms, so there's still plenty of time in this paddock if he wants it. Right, let's get back to the here and now with your podium trio in race 1 of the 2025 Acerbis Italian round. It's third place for Alvaro Bautista. And as I said earlier on, podium number 114 for him, matches him with Tom Sykes 5th in the all-time rankings, and quite remarkable actually. 114 podiums for Bautista from 214 starts. And you think about how many of those starts were with Honda. With the best will in the world, he didn't have too many opportunities there, but most of his starts with Ducati ending on the rostrum.
Yeah, he's been so impressive for Ducati, obviously a double world champion for them, and he's been their top rider in Superbike for many years, and now it's that question of when he's able to get himself back to winning races in this class, but he's always able to put himself in the mix.
Yeah, still the wait continues for his first victory since Aragon in September. Second place today goes to Toprak Razgatlioglu. It's 148 podiums as far as he is concerned. It's a second place here today, and after 4 wins, that's 2 second places as well. So 6 podiums on the board for him, 1 short of Bautista's tally for 2025. But the race win goes to Nicolo Bulliga. It's win number 11 for him in World SBK. Soaking up the atmosphere then here in Cremona as the Prosecco is sprayed on the podium by Nicolo Bulliga, and the fans who were hoping to see a victory for this man, well, Alvaro Bautista's fan club apart, have got their reward with Nicolo Bulliga taking his victory at a 3rd different circuit in the 4 we've visited this season so far. Only winning has eluded him only in Portimao thus far.
Yeah, and for Bulliga there, you can see just what it means for him, because that's as vibrant as we see him on the podium. And certainly for Bulliga, this one matters a lot. Not only after Assen, but you could see it down in Parc Ferme for him as well. To have the crowd come in makes it a big difference for him as well. He's thrown one boot into the audience as well, and you can see here from the shots just how big that crowd is down at the Parc Ferme and down in towards the podium.
Well, here is your photo then of the top 3. Alvaro Bautista in 3rd, Toprak Razgatlioglu in 2nd, and Nicolo Bulliga, first rider to 5 race victories in 2025, with a race 1 success at his home round here in Cremona. Full look at the race results and the championship standings coming up. Win number 5 for the season then for Nicolo Bulliga, 8th podium of the campaign. Second place goes to Toprak Razgatlioglu, career podium number 148. for Toprak, his first rostrum finish since Assen, the Super Pole race there. 4 wins and 2 second places for 6 podiums for him. 7th podium of the season for Alvaro Bautista, and his 3rd in a row. 2 retirements in race 1 in Portimao and race 1 in Assen, breaking the flow. But otherwise, really, it has been rostrum pace throughout this season for Bautista. Andrea Locatelli with an early crash. He remounts to finish 18th, but no points for that. So Alvaro Bautista's 16 points bring him to within 5 of the bronze medal ranking. Nicolo Bulliga pulls out 5 on Toprak Razgatlioglu. 2nd consecutive strong ride for Remy Gardner. Hasn't been out of the top 8 in the last 4 races now. Finished the weekend in Assen with a 3rd place and is 6th in race 1 here in Cremona. Manufacturers' Championship, another race win for Ducati, opening their margin over BMW. Not the best of races for Yamaha. Remy Gardner doing the scoring there, and for Honda, Xavi Vierge comes away with a 5th place after a crash for his teammate Iker Lecuona from 4th. We'll be back tomorrow with the same schedule as usual. The Super Pole race will kick off proceedings at 11 a.m. local time, and race 2 at 2.
Thank you to the World Feed, who took you through the podium ceremony and the post-race activities, but you can join us now. You will be redirected to the Formula E Monaco Race 1 with Josh B, Tom Cairns and Richie on the call, but I thank the World Feed, and thank you to Josh B for joining us as well. And we will see you tomorrow when the World Superbikes return. See you then.